Arcadians, Maticus here with Jay.
This is Jay. How's it going, guys?
And this week we got a tournament match. We got Jay playing his own Blue Garlic Jr. and James playing Orange Goku.
This is the very same James who won first place in the Arizona Regionals. These guys are both world qualifiers playing at a local event here in Arizona.
This is true. And I can't quite tell with the die roll who won. Looks like James won.
Looks like James won. We're going to go with that.
Right? Oh! Torching drill on turn one. That's pretty sweet.
And a destruction at the bottom. I draw my 3 blue minion popping down, and an overpowering drill. Blue overpowering drill. Nobody expects the blue minion. The blue minion is so great because it allows me to gain anger or lower their anger while doing 3 life cards of damage. Nobody expects the block because they're afraid of other attacks. It's great.
That's fair. Plus, you're getting off of level 1 at 3 anger with Garlic.
Pretty much. And the passive version from Orange Goku coming out there, you know, it's tough for him to really to be entering combat with knowing that a lot of non-combats are in his deck and he's drawing into them, while I'm preparing myself as well as the Blue Garlic Jr. deck.
We do have... Okay, he's getting kind of set up there. He's got the energy block, he's got the energy buff, the torching drill, and heroic assistance. So he's just going to let you decide when you want to enter.
All right, yeah, and it looks like I'm really considering it. You know, I'm shuffling those 4 cards right there. One of them's a blue tear. I have options. I can do a lot of things. I remember this combat in this particular. Man, I got off very fast on levels because I wanted to take advantage of the weakness that Orange has, which is playing against MPPV decks. And this deck can do both MPPV and Dragon Ball Victory. Also, I've been lucky enough to be in survival, winning by survival as well.
That's fair. I saw that sweet Blue Terror promo when you showed the camera.
Heck yeah!
I like it.
Oh yeah.
So what do you start off with?
That's a very good question. I don't know, but it looks like I'm really
tempted. Find out.
It looks like I'm very tempted with the Blue Betrayal because I really want to get rid of. I'm going to get rid of the Burning Aura Drill. I don't want him to get the extra 2 damage. Granted, it's great. It's great for him to get the extra 2 damage on my level 2, but I'm not there yet. Plus, you know, I want to keep track of how much endurance is left in my deck and make sure that I'm able to win by MPPV if needed. Plus, with my Dragon Ball Victory.
Fair enough. So, attack table stages on Blue Betrayal, not much damage.
Eat it.
Right. Oh, I'll take that 1 stage. He said.
Yeah. Oh, he goes for Goku's attack. I use the Mastery, which allows me to block, triggering the Mastery. I gain an anger, triggering the Drill, which gains me an additional anger. And then here comes Garlic Jr.'s power.
Yeah.
Talk about a great combo with Blue and that Drill. Garlic Jr. can really abuse that on level 1, and I got fortunate enough to draw it on the first turn. He goes for the attack.
Yeah, that's the promo PowerPoint.
That's right. That's right. James went to Gen Con with me. He didn't do as well as in Arizona, but he was able to.
Hey, he's coming in for 7 right now.
Yeah, he's gonna hit and do some damage.
He's getting a drill.
Yeah, I got that endurance luckily, so I was able to protect my life deck for a while. Now he can bring out other drills. There's not a whole lot that I'm too worried about for right now, just given the fact that I'm a blue deck. I have a lot of blocks. And I have a lot of endurance, so I'm not too worried about it. I was more worried of him getting a free drill from Goku, and I had no way of knowing if he had a PowerPoint in his hand. So that just goes to show sometimes you have to take risks when you don't have all the information in front of you.
That's fair. It was still, you know, it's early in the game, early in the combat. He can't seem to quite decide what he wants to go for. Hiding drill. There we go.
He doesn't know what to do against this deck. I mean, he probably has never played against a lot of Blue Garlic Jr. decks.
The one out there.
There's a fair amount, but I wanted to mess with it myself because Blue Minion, that card you see on the very top, Blue Minion is a 1 card that I really wanted to use in blue, and Blue Garlic Jr. really abuses that card. No, people underestimate that card in all of its
Fair enough. Bouncing the anger up and down is pretty relevant. And I do want to point out, though, he gets the 1 mil off of the torching drill being in play.
Oh, you're right.
Mill to stare down, so that's lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, he got very good. He got very good draw on that. The stare down is not necessarily a thing that I have to worry about, or getting. It's not something I'm rushing to grab. I'm more interested in board presence, getting my board set up, and getting Dragon Balls. That's going to really change the game for me to really do a lot of stuff. Now, I bring out, I trigger the setup for Garlic Jr.'s Dead Zone, and I bring out a blank card. I mean, unexpected. You would have
right. There might be a Dragon Ball under there somewhere.
You would know when it does.
Actually, it's still in the dead zone, I think, is the problem.
Oh, I see, that's it. See, he's worried about that blank card. Now, he's got to think, how is he going to face the second blank card? How does he do? How does he come up with it?
Apparently, it's for 4. So we got a glare on the left side. All right.
Oh man,
We'll see what it is when you bin it there.
Trap strike.
Strike.
Blue trap strike. Yep, that's right. They have 4 stages. That makes sense. Oh man.
Now James' cards, we can see.
Yeah, right.
I think he's got a devouring drill in hand, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, you really. I think, well, I entered this combat, so it would make sense why he'd have it in his hand. He wanted to really discard that for his level 1, so he gets benefited off of 2 things, a drill in his discard and a drill in play. If he gets that also benefits him with his mastery, synergizes it.
You did endurance his PowerPoint earlier, so I don't think he's got a crit effect.
Nope, not at all.
So, and his other card looks like a Dan drill, so probably just gonna pass it back.
Right. Now you see, I'm going to use that blue terror, and I'm going to, well, see, now he proceeds to take damage when he should be waiting before I search for the card. But the card I was going to search for was Overhand Blue, gosh, I can't remember that name now. That card right there.
Blue Hand Blast.
Blue Hand Blast. Again, I want to take advantage early on. I want to go up as far as I can at level 3. And be able to try to have the option to win by anger, because I know that orange has a really bad matchup against anger, and this is really the best thing for me to take advantage of, given the fact that he has 2 cards in hand that are useless. He got 1 attack in, but I enduranced a lot of it, and I can keep combat going. I still have another card.
Yeah. Gaining 2 anger off Hand Blast is pretty good.
Yep, going from 3 anger that I had, going up to 5, up a level, jump to 3. I just jumped to level 3 from starting at level 1 with no anger whatsoever. Keep that in mind.
He had that sweet endurance on energy catch, though.
That's right. And that ends combat because we all both pass. I pass the turn to him. He draws his 3 cards. He puts the drill that he really wanted to put down.
Now he gets to put the other drill that he drew, so that's neat. Going to Goku level 2.
Going to level 2. He goes blank.
Since he's down to 1 card, might as well pass, right?
Now he wants to enter. This is like the most optimal play here.
He did draw a distracting beam, so putting the card back on top is good.
Watch, guys. He chose to not rejuve. He did that purposefully because he wants to increase his odds of getting drills in play. This is a very smart move for James, who's really knowledgeable in Orange, if you guys want to learn a lot of neat tricks that Orange has to offer.
This is true. And it's not just Goku either, it's just Orange in general is so good with the drills.
Right. Now you see, I got rid of a stare down. I didn't need it, I put it at the bottom. I put a blue neck beam at the bottom, 1 for the endurance and 2 for me to mess with Goku so I can put him down a level. Make sure 4.
This looks sweet. I think he's got a destruction in hand.
He does.
And an energy catch, so it looks pretty good for James.
Oh, but
he's not convinced though.
He's not convinced. He realizes that he's against a passive deck. What's the whole point at that point? It's you might as well just keep up the passive game, get your board set up, and see what happens. However, a passive deck versus a passive deck comes down to who has the most passive cards. And here comes Dragon Ball 3. I'm dropping that sucker, which allows me to gain an anger and draw 3 cards, of course. And there's Hexo, the bottom Z's.
Well, I just couldn't remember if it was the top or the bottom, but then I realized putting 2 cards back on top would be like a brainstorm in Magic. It's just OP.
Yeah, and exactly. And there comes a visiting and a dead zone. I am looking great. I can now dead zone the Dragon Ball 3 that I just played, so he can't use it.
So
I have a lot of options.
Let me ask you about dead zone.
Yes.
Because the Garlic decks that I've played, they play like maybe 1 dead zone, but you play the full 2.
I do.
Why 2?
Well,
is that important?
It is. For a Dragon Ball deck, there is a mechanic that people have to be utilizing when they're running a Dragon Ball based deck, and that is called shuffling. Shuffling is a basic mechanic that just allows you to reset your deck. It is a form of It is a form of keeping you, not a form, it's a way to keep you active in the game based on the cards you add back into the deck. The Dragon Balls are relevant because you want to draw those cards after, say, your opponent enters combat. Dead Zone allows you to shuffle your deck if most of your Dragon Balls went to the bottom. Even if it allows you to search for one Dragon Ball and you can't play it, it still gives you the mechanic of shuffling, which is highly desirable in a Dragon Ball based deck.
That's fair. Shuffling your deck, making sure you get a good randomization.
Right, and the deck that I'm running right now has about 8 ways. You don't want a lot of ways, but you want to have options in which you could potentially shuffle the deck.
Right. It's like you get, I think it was a Garlic Jr.'s Counterblast that you rejuve to the bottom. At some point, you can shuffle a Dragon Ball, and then you're going to put that Counterblast closer to being drawn.
Correct. Now check this out, James draws a Kaioken. I visit the past and get a block. I draw 5 cards. He's going to Kaioken first thing. There comes the Kaioken. Go up a level, middle the top 3.
I do like going to 3 here. Goku's level 3 is pretty awesome.
It's pretty good. Now, he spent an action to go up a level, which doesn't do anything to me, but it really doesn't do anything else. Now, here comes the stare down. I'm going to make sure I get rid of any cards he, I may have. Now, let's see. I see the destruction. I see the block. I see the energy attack. I'm really tempted. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go for, I don't really know what I chose, but I was thinking maybe the orange destruction would be a good call at this point. Because I don't have a way to deal with it, and
right, you don't have a sphere.
But I do have a block to get rid of his energy attack, and he has an additional energy attack on his level 3, so it's a really tough call. He doesn't have a physical attack that I can abuse, but see, there you go. I take out the orange destruction. That's what 1, 2.
The destruction would have been for 7.
That's right, 7, not worth it. And and I don't want Now, I probably could have gotten away with keeping it because, remember, I run Dragon Balls. So, for all I know...
which is fair. They don't need... When they're being destroyed, they don't need to be replaced.
Right. So, I could have gotten away with it and, made him have 1 less energy attack in his hand.
I will say this, though. Did he still have the Heroic Assistance in the discard, or did he shuffle it in?
Oh, he shuffled that in, I believe.
Okay, he's going for the Lookout drill with Goku.
Uh-huh. Now, he's doing that preferably so I can't re-abuse Dragon Ball 7 as I did before, which is fine. I have Blue Betrayal in my hand, I believe. No, I don't. But I have Blue Betrayal so I can get rid of it if it becomes a problematic issue. I don't think it's really a necessary problem. Right now, his biggest issue is me winning by MPPV, even though I have a plus...
You're not on the Dragon Ball 7 plan.
Right. And I got 2 blank cards on the field. You gotta watch out.
Right?
Yeah, they're
2 ultra white Dragon Balls, super rare.
Right? But man, one thing we really got to give props to is God Goku in the center, identifying who is the actor. That guy's.
We know it's James' turn right now.
That guy's a champ. I mean, look at him. He's like a model. He's just pointing at his direction. This guy. That's all he's saying. This guy.
So looks like.
Okay, so now
there you go. Blocking the attack.
Yeah, correct. And I block the attack, which triggers my drill. And now, get this. I get an anger for blocking, and I'm at 2 anger. So I add 1 anger, or my bad, I was at 3 anger. I add an anger to myself. Instead of gaining additional anger, going from 4 to 5 anger and leveling up, I chose to raise his own anger 1 level, because Overpowering Drill states that you raise a player's anger. So I chose his. That way I can maintain myself going to... staying on level 3 and not jumping to level 4. Now,
you don't want to jump too early to level 4 if he's still got attacks in hand and so forth.
Right, and actually, now I'm thinking I had 2 anger, and I didn't want to gain an additional anger, so I wanted to use Garlic Jr.'s Counterblast, so now I get +/- 4 modifiers. His attacks are not going to do a whole lot of damage, even if they hit.
Right. I think that's what he's contemplating.
Oh, yeah. Now I draw for turn. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in.
It's all blue hand blast.
Now check this, I got Trap Strike, which gains me 2 anger, Hand Blast gains me 2 anger, I'm at 4 anger, 1 more anger, I go up a level. I don't know what's in play, I think I have 2 Dragon Balls in play, one of them's overpowering, I think one of them may be a blue minion. So blue minion gives me 1, Trap Strike gives me 3, Hand Blast gives me 2, my bad, Trap Strike gives me 2, minion gives me 1, Hand Blast gives me 2, that's 5 anger. That's me being 1 less away from winning. If I have a block in my hand, I win by MPPV if he were to potentially do an attack on me. I chose to... What is that I put in the discard pile?
It looks like a precarious defense.
Oh, I attempted to use precarious defense without realizing that there is no setup in play, so I can't even trigger blue precarious defense.
Yeah, it looks like we're checking it right now.
Yep. It's like, oh crap, I can't even use this because there's no setups. Because I got...
Put that back, it's fine.
Oh, I think what had happened was I discarded Precarious Defense to put a Heroic Assistance at the bottom of his deck.
Ah.
Yeah, that was earlier. See, that just goes to show how blank cards can surprise you.
Right?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll fix the glare, I promise.
No big, I'm just having fun with it. I mean, no one sees it coming.
Right? That's overpowering glare in the middle, and then Dragon Ball glare, and then Dragon Ball glare 2.
Right. Alright, so I enter combat.
Yeah.
I proceed to start off with Trap Strike because I have a Dragon Ball in play, which allows me to use it twice. I go up a level. He gets +3 modifiers, yada yada yada.
I'm sure he's more than happy to have +3 modifiers.
Oh, I would say so. Here comes the confrontation. Now there's the Precarious Defense, there's the Sagacious Strike, and there's a Hand Blast. Now, unfortunately, had he not had the confrontation, I probably would have won by there, because I had enough anger right there in my hand for me to, plus with what's on the for me to win. The confrontation really just did a number on me that combat, and it really prevented me from winning that combat. But hey, you can't really help it. Things like that happen.
Right. Sometimes your opponent draws a confrontation. What can you do?
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
I just second Trap Strike, I gain an anger. I'm at 1 anger at level 4. He gets the +3 still. He's really considering. He's going for the Goku level 4 attack, brings out the drill. I have to respond.
Well, you're going to mill 1 off the drill, so there you go. Got it.
Yep.
Now we're looking at damage.
We are.
What do you got? What do you got?
Well, see, I can still use the Mastery. Now, if I use the Mastery, I gain 2 anger. If I use the Hand Blast, I gain an additional 2 more anger. No, he got rid of the Hand Blast.
Is that an intervention in your hand?
I have an intervention, I believe. Or no, the Precarious Defense. They kind of look similar.
Yeah, they both have a dark background.
Right, here comes the Precarious Defense to stop it. Now triggers the Mastery, which then triggers the Drill. I gain 2 anger off of 1 block. I mean, that's insane in terms of the anger gain for blue. Now get this, I have 3 anger, I have a strike in my hand, which is not going to do anything, but I shuffle the Dragon Balls in my deck because I don't want him to steal them to use the effect. So here comes Dragon Ball 6, because he can't take advantage of Dragon Ball 6 once it's in play. I mean, he doesn't really benefit in any way, shape, or form. But it does benefit me from taking too much stage damage.
So, just FYI, so everyone knows, that white card in the middle is Dragon Ball 6.
That's right.
Alright.
And I got the overpowering drill there.
Yep, still there, hasn't gone away.
That's right. Now keep in mind, I know that he's performing an attack, but I also am looking at his stages. I noticed that he's running low on stages. This is, I think, the last attack that he can perform, because I think he went down to 1 stage. It's tough to see because you don't actually have the dice to really see what's going on.
Yeah.
Now he's really...
That was always my qualms with the energy-heavy Goku build. Was, you know, if you've got like 2 or 3 good attacks in your hand, well, you want to play them all through combat, but you're going to leave combat at 2 stages above 0.
Right.
If that.
There comes that beautiful endurance and a blue minion being dropped out there. Unfortunately, he does get the crit. Luckily, I was able to get rid of my Dragon Balls before he can use a critical. Now, he's going to get the critical damage effect to lower my anger 1. Now, I'm at 2 anger at level 4. He has no more stages to pay for actions. He's going to search my deck and get rid of a card. I believe he gets rid of... If time is in there, he's going for that. And there's the time. You just saw it get past. So... Or
Not
maybe,
to mention,
yeah.
When you're already getting +3 modifiers, using, you know, Dan Drill and things of that nature. What's the other one? The one that you can have it do 2 less and destroy a setup or drill.
I'm so bad at remembering those names, but yes.
You know the one.
What Matt is really trying to explain is you have to do it before the damage, because it's if successful. If successful happens before you physically take the damage from your life deck.
Yeah. And with the modifiers he's getting from Garlic, he has no qualms about just going for those effects.
Right. Now, here comes, he drops the drill. He has a drill in his hand that's dead. He's at level 3. He can perform an attack there, but I'm going to draw 3 cards. Nothing's really going to come in from him being at level 3 right now with what he has in his hand. So his best bet is to wait for the next combat and see what happens. Now get this, here comes Dragon Ball 7. I can set up the top 3 cards of my deck. He's going to trigger the Scout Drill, which allows him to save his cards from being milled, but I'm going to get that time in my hand. Now this is where I have to think about what cards do I want to really abuse. Now Blue Reprimand is something that people always try to go towards, but unfortunately it doesn't really help me out later after this game. Now I'm going to draw the 3 cards. I get Intervention, Time, and Reprimand. I'm going to put that on top of the deck. Now in my hand, let's see what I got. I got a Neck Beam, and it looks like a Garlic Jr.'s Counterblast in my hand. I'm going to keep the Counterblast. I want the 2 Anger. I want to see if I can win by MPPV. I have 2 Anger at level 4. I'm getting close.
And James just got a Kaioken.
That's right. He also got a Drill, which...
Oh, that's what it is. Phasing Drill.
Phasing Drill.
Yes, Energy Phasing Drill.
So there, he triggers him to go up a level.
There it is.
Now again, he is limited to want to go into combat because he's going to have 1 less cards, and he knows what I have in my hand. So it's not in his best interest to want to allow himself to go into combat. Now I draw my...
You also set up what would be your draw of 3 with Dragon Ball 7.
That's right.
So he doesn't want to just freely give you those cards.
That's right. Now, granted, what I should have done was I should have not chosen the Reprimand because I knew that I was at 4 Anger. I mean, I knew that I was at level 4 and with 2 Anger.
Alright, so he's going to use the Energy Block Drill.
Now get this, I use Garlic Jr.'s Counterblast. That means that he gets +6 on all his attacks, but I have a time in my hand. I'm thinking, what could he possibly do? He confrontations me and gets rid of the time. Now I have 4 Anger. If I get 1 more Anger, I win. That's how this works out.
All you need is 1 Anger, but what's left in your hand to gain Anger? The time's going away.
Well, I have another block, Intervention, Blue Intervention. If it blocks, I gain gain an Anger from the Drill.
Okay.
And then I have the Reprimand. That's all I have in my hand. Now, unfortunately, I've done screwed myself because now he's got +6 on his attacks, and he's an energy-based deck. So now I got to hopefully survive this game. Now
he doubles up on the confrontation to discard the one thing that could help you.
Confrontation's real. Double confrontation just sucks sometimes. But hey, what are you gonna do? Now, this is all up to James. Can he win? He has a +6 modifier. He can go in for
all he needs is 1 attack.
Well, I have a lot of cards left in my life deck. Yeah, I have a lot of cards. So let's see. Let's count up his exactly damage. Now get this. Blue Reprimand. I chose the Torching Drill. I don't want to mill any cards. I want my cards to be endured. I want to survive the combat. This is
fair because he still has Goku's level 4 power to activate.
That's correct.
He hasn't searched up 5 drills yet.
However, there is one problem with him having a drill in his hand.
He's gonna PowerPoint right now for 13.
For 13 damage, that +6 modifier goes hard.
It does now.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, look at the endurance coming out.
10, 11. Oh,
up Dragon Ball.
11,
up Dragon Ball.
11, 12, 13. 13 damage, that's a crit.
It's still a crit. Oh no, he's gonna lower the anger.
Lower the anger that I worked so hard to get. That double confrontation really.
Dragon Ball's going to the bottom. So that deck that was looking good a minute ago is a little on the thinner side.
Check this out. Here comes orange possession drill. Guess what I just put back in his hand? A drill. He's gonna do lots of damage this combat.
He gets to draw too.
Oh yeah, and just
essentially because he gets to just make that drill go away.
Exactly. And I also mill a card for it coming into play.
No, because you bounced the
Did the
torching drill.
That's good. Yeah, good call. Good catch. This goes back to my logic for why I did that.
Right there, that's the evidence, yeah.
Right? Now this was the reprimand, that was my best move. That was the best thing I could have done, only because how else would I have been able to last the game otherwise? Now the chances are, if he would draw really bad cards, that was not going to help him out for the game. Go ahead.
You know, and the other perspective was, if he doesn't have 2 confrontations, you win the game.
Pretty much.
You know, it's just all about what anger you were able to gain.
Exactly. Now, see, here comes the torching drill. He milled it for drawing 2, and I do not get to mill any cards because the torching drill came with the Goku level 4 power.
Right. That's a rules interaction.
Which is exactly what I was looking for. I didn't want to take any mill-related damage, or that's kind of contradictory with itself. I didn't want to mill any cards, period.
I think he makes a smart choice here. Because I think he only goes for the 2 drills. He gets a torching drill so that it's in play from now on, and he gets the other energy attack buff.
Right, so now he's going to try...
That's all he goes for.
Because he wants to see if I survive somehow in any luck. He's going to just use his level...
He's doing plus 8 right now.
Right, he's going to use his level 4 to be able to get rid... to make me mill more cards for torching drill later.
So, that orange stare down right now was for 4 on the attack, 1 for the mastery, 2 for the drill, and then 6 from garlic.
Yep.
So that's 8, 9, 13?
13. He's going solid on 13. I'm still surviving. And he's going in taking rid of more endurance cards.
That's the Dan drill coming out.
That's late, by the way. The Dan drill should have happened before I taken the damage, and that was a... that was something that definitely
procedural thing.
Correct. Yes, that's something definitely that we did incorrect.
Just so everybody knows.
Yes, right?
Mind your P's and Q's.
1, 2, 1, 2.
And he's got Dragon Balls left.
2, 3, 4.
Dragon Balls.
I fixed it.
Hey, there it is.
Just handshake for happiness of having a great game.
Back-to-back orange stare downs for 13. Who knew?
Who knew?
That's insane.
Oh, this game was great. I mean, granted, I did not win this game, but James is a great player. I've tested with James for so many games, including for preparing him for the Arizona Regionals, and we've even played games up until the point when we went to Gen Con. So both me and James are well knowledgeable in the game, where we kind of know each other well enough. When we play each other, we know what to expect. And he played the game very, very well. He got those confrontations that really messed me up in combat. And hey, whether this game was luck-based or not, he still did great.
Right, it was a great game overall, and it just came down to that one combat, and you happen to have 2 confrontations. You know, that's trading card games, man.
It was still a remarkable game. This is definitely a game that I was very proud to play with. Shoutouts to James, just because everyone's aware that he is the guy who took Orange Goku in Arizona, and he's running it again, as you see here, for our Arizona local group.
And not to mention, I'm pretty sure he's the only thing outside of Piccolo, Krillin, and Ginyu that has won a regional.
That is true. Well, Blue Piccolo, yeah, that's true. It's still Piccolo. Yeah, Orange Goku is the only other deck that won a regionals or done successful enough to go to regionals and win.
So, I feel like that's one of those things that James is such a good player, and he's played the deck enough that if you're a good player and you play something enough and you're familiar enough with it, you can change the way you play to essentially meet any matchup. And he proved that at the Arizona Regional.
Yes, and that's very true. I mean, the game is always expanding. I can't wait for set 4 for when we end up going into other cards, other MPs that we can add and introduce into the game, and seeing what type of matchups there are later on as this game progresses. I
am a big fan of Android 18 from the show, so I'm hoping Android 18 has some sweet abilities on our MP.
Right? I never played the Score Z game.
Me either.
And I didn't really care much for the androids during, you know, the show of Android Saga. Yeah, I didn't care much for them. I was a big fan of Goku. I mean, I'll throw that out there. I liked Goku. I thought he was a baller guy. He's the man. His personality is what really drove me to make a lot of my choices when I grew up as a kid, because his character, as similar to other anime characters, he was the guy who's always hungry, who's always challenging himself, who never wants to take the easy way out and to always prove himself. And that's like a philosophy that we all try to utilize in our day-to-day routine.
That's fair. I like that a lot. That's a good analogy. Also, he's actually just very hungry all the time.
And that's very true. Yes, he's very hungry. Well, secretly, you see, he has an orchard of nothing but blank cards in his arsenal to use against other people. So, I don't even know if I used that word correctly. I think I made up that word right there.
I think you did well.
Screw you! I'm gonna see if that exists.
Google it. All right.
Googling it now. You watch. Just watch.
Do you have anything else for this week's matchup?
In terms of what? Games that we're going to be providing?
No, I was just talking about this matchup in general. Garlic and Goku.
What are my thoughts on the matchup itself?
Yeah.
I think that it is a fair game for both worlds. I think that Orange Goku could get a very great head start, and they could be able to set up just well. The blue deck has a lot of anti-anger based cards in it. And now, combining that with Garlic Jr., you have Dragon Ball manipulation, and you also have the potential of survival play. Because realistically speaking, you're making them mill for Dragon Ball 7 by repeating Reprimand. You're making them take damage for cards like Blue Minion, which does only 3 life cards of damage, but you'd be surprised how small amounts of damage could take out large endurance in the deck. On top, you're essentially going up levels while you're dealing these damages. That is so much versatility that you could abuse in a blue Garlic Jr. deck. Now, I used cards that are very different than I've seen from most blue Garlic Jr. decks. I will happily provide the deck list if anyone is remotely interested in it. It's very unique and very different. But it wins by it's a survival-based deck. It's a Dragon Ball based deck, and it wins by anger. It has all 3 win conditions in it, all in one.
I like it. Well, there you have it, guys. Garlic Jr. and Goku. Goku wins.
Goku won.
This time. He always can come back from the dead zone. I don't know how or why, but he does.
Because he's immortal, duh.
Right. He's immortal, I'll give you that.
Someone didn't read their Dragon Ball material.
Alright. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you in the next tournament video. See you next time.
See you in the next video.